the whites only community in Arkansas, which I don't think will fly because Arkansas has a Fair Housing Act. Okay, if you're not aware, okay, it started in Arkansas and then there's one in Missouri all of a sudden, right? It's called whites only community. Okay, let's take a listen. Let's take a listen.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
Uh-oh, let's get to it.
In the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses. They call it an intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
I think we would generally be called far-right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references?
Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
Uh-oh.
A seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible because of a new political and technological moment.
There you go.
One with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own, for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful, and you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
It's not based on morality. It's not based on morality. Most people have an affinity to their own. That's nothing new. But the problem is when you go out and display it and say, hey, I have an affinity to my own people, then that's when it gets dicey, because then people get offended. What do you mean your own people? What's wrong with the rest of us? Yeah, but you're not my people. I get it. There's arguments on both sides. It's not a morality issue. Take it off the table.
Arkansas, in the southern United States.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:27.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organizing online. A network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical, real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
So basically, guys like the Crow and SKC would not be invited to their cookout. Sorry, guys. The brothers with the white wives and the mixed babies, you're not invited to their cookout. I'm just saying, come on.
Driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, that's right, because you're going to do what your man says. Y'all pay attention to what she said. It's not my choice, but that man says otherwise. I follow this man. Y'all, women, y'all not, sisters, y'all not ready for this conversation. White men gonna lead they people. Okay, white men see a problem, they're going to address that shit head on, find solutions, and lead their families and their people. That's what white men gonna do, time and time again. It's genetics. It is in their DNA. Survival of the fittest. They live and breathe it without even realizing it. They're not even conscious of their actions that they're doing half the time, because it's just based on genetic survival.
I think they should have the freedom to do it.
That's what they want to do.
I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric Orr, and he's invited me to spend a few days with him.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key. Because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But
okay, Asians, they still not invited to the cookout. Still not invited to the cookout.
what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they have been kept out.
Well,
I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Ain't that what y'all said about sinners? Ain't this is the exact, see, I don't like when the arguments flip back on y'all. I'm glad he said that. So for 45 days, all you sinners, fans, watchers, the message is don't let them people in y'all's house, in y'all communities. Right? That's the main takeaway, service level takeaway that y'all got from sinners. Don't let them into y'all communities. Don't let those devils in y'all's house. White man say the same thing. I don't want you black devils in my house. Now what? Now you got a problem with it. See how that works?
160 acres taking shape, forest cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here.
I met her on like day 3. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month.
Wow.
They wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
And I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to white people and white children. And so
he went there. He went there with it.
White people. What sort of things the heavens are about to
Yeah.
I'd like to continue talking, but the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning.
This is fascinating.
This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or
Every
RTTL.
man
what they
works.
call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. There are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
Okay.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage.
Okay.
It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. I am impressed. I'm impressed. How come we never rebuilt Blackwall? You know what? I don't want to go there. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue.
Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's have contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
Hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace
Extremely.
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore. Like it's
There's a prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
No, the definition implied that you could control others through finances, socioeconomics. You had, you know, you can affect their lives. That was like the definition. Come on, let's do it. I'm not gonna do critical race theory. Have they changed the definition? Let's see. Against a person on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. Okay. Where's the best definition of racism? Okay. It can manifest in individual. Okay, here we go. Systemic structures. If you can control systemic structures, schooling, housing, finances, education, politics, if you can affect people under a system, that to me is the best definition of racism. I don't care if you believe you're superior. I believe I'm superior to every fucking body. Am I a racist? You know, I'm whatever the case. I'd be a heightist. I don't know. I don't like tall people. I don't know, right? Discrimination, prejudice, yeah, systemic nature. Racism, not just individual actions, but also deeply embedded in societal structures, institutions, and cultural norms. Creating barriers to opportunity and advancement for some while favoring others. This is the racism I ascribe to. All this, you think you're better than me, I don't care. That's just, you just woofing. That's just wolf talk to me. You know, if you think you're the superior, okay, fine. You believe what you want. Because when we all go home, at the end of the day, we talk about everybody. Everybody talks about everybody when we go home. You know? Okay. Fascinating. Let's continue. Oh, not that. Let's go.
All of this is reaction to left-wing identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics.
And that's the attitude why we tend to stay at the bottom. Y'all sitting here making fun that they're in some backwoods of Arkansas. You guys have the wrong attitude about this. The fact that they went out to boofuck who Egypt and built something literally out of nothing. Okay? You guys are missing the point. How come black folks never rebuilt the Black Wall Street? How come they never rebuilt the shit? What's the okay, I'm gonna go here. Now I gotta go here. The last city built by black people. Listen, you got white folks all over this country starting their own little enclaves and shit. The last black town in the West. Y'all trying to preserve some shit. They out here building new shit. What are y'all talking about? Nicodemus, Kansas. Y'all sitting here trying to preserve some old shit. These crackers out here building new shit. What are y'all talking about? It's the only town that historically represents that time period at the end of Reconstruction. Where's the new Nicodemus? Where's the new all these black cities y'all keep bringing up in y'all arguments and shit? Okay, where's the new ones at? After they burned y'all shit down, y'all never rebuilt the stuff, right? Tulsa, you drive through Tulsa, it's nothing like what it used to be, right? You guys need to change y'all's mindset. This is not gonna help. Let's do this. Y'all got the wrong mindset. These white folk out here building shit out of nothing. The closest thing I can give y'all is Pastor Dow. Let's do it. All black towns. All black towns. Let's see here. And I can guarantee majority of these black towns neither exist or got taken over by somebody else that doesn't look like them. Right? Where's the new Freedmen's Town? In Nicodemus, Mound Bayou, Whitesboro. I'm sure if I go to Whitesboro, it literally will be the name, Whites. Y'all got to change y'all's mindset. These motherfuckers out here building goddamn whole communities. Y'all got the wrong mindset.
But white identity politics.
Wrong mindset.
And what they're building here is a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary, it's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside, the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full time. And they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this off any longer than I already had.
Back in the day, when we first got the land here, there were only about 5 guys. I was
This is how you reverse all that. Listen, this is how you reverse all that. What do you mean? This is how they gonna fix all that. It's gonna take time, but they're gonna reverse this course. Don't you see these laws with these men already making in Congress, stripping away women's rights slowly but surely? They're gonna course correct. They're not crazy.
First, family to be on the road full time, so we started community dinners back then, and it would be pretty relaxed because there weren't many people. But it is nice. It's slowly growing. So
They've come here to live for a variety of reasons, but their dedication to the mission is absolute.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I'm 32.
Cool.
I'm a lady.
My name's Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N, I'm 29.
Right.
And Caitlin, C-A-I-T-L-I-N, I'm 31.
These all childbearing women. These women are in their peak childbearing years. What do you think? What you think they're there for? But come on.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well, that we hate everyone else.
Yeah,
it's not about that by any means.
It's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them.
What the white woman just said. Everybody can have their own communities. Right? So what's stopping? The Jews have their own communities. Asians definitely have their own communities. Urban folk, where are our communities? Urban folk, where are our communities? And if there is one, you don't want to live there, do you? Right? Do you want to live with other black people? Yes or no? It's okay. If there's a black city being built right now, black town, you're not gonna. Most of y'all wouldn't. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna live there. Stop the cap. What? There's gonna be niggas there? I'm cool. Other black people? I'm cool. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
If other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense.
But the goal is to have lots of these communities, and for it maybe not to be real, for there to be cities on the same basis, right?
Yeah, that would be neat. I look forward to seeing how this movement grows over time.
There are other ways to increase numbers. Nikki, Caitlin, and Allison all met their partners at the community.
See?
And RTTL is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser
Yeah,
to give
Midsommar.
cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth.
There you go.
Just before we arrived, they had donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Wow. That's how you fix this low birth rate shit. We're gonna get these little pockets of communities doing their thing.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of have big families to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't think so. I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
There's not a lot to show around here. I basically just have the whole pasture area.
Peter is unattached. This is his homestead. He's been on a journey. He told me he used to be a liberal, a hippie even.
A knife is a tool. It has to be very sharp in order to cut properly.
He founded a commune in Ecuador, an intentional community based not on ethnicity, but veganism.
So this is your lot?
Yeah.
But he's also immersed in internet culture, someone who delights in provoking reactions, a troll.
Oh, he's a troll.
On the
okay.
group chat on the messaging app Telegram, he's posted the numbers 1488. The 14 refers to the 14
For 14th letter, 88 is the year. Yeah. Okay, so he's one of those. Yeah. Okay, he's one of those types. Okay.
words, a white supremacist slogan.
Yep.
And H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So 88 means HH, which
Heil Hitler. Yes, we know. Thunderbolts. Yes, we know.
means Heil Hitler.
Yeah.
Because you put that in the Telegram, for instance. What does that mean when you place that in Telegram 1488?
Well, I use it as kind of like a funny comment throwback.
As part of that Nazi discussion, another frequent topic on the online chat is the Holocaust. Usually minimized, sometimes even mocked.
So the Holocaust, stands as a unique crime in the history of
Well, that's your
humanity,
opinion.
really.
I think the Holodomor was much worse than the Holocaust. That's my opinion. I mean, we're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can say they're both bad. The Holocaust was bad.
But do you know anything about the Holodomor?
Yeah, in Ukraine,
Right.
the famine, I know a little bit about it, and I know it was awful too, and
Right,
it's sort of
right.
deliberate, but we can also agree the Holocaust is bad.
Well, we don't have to say that one was objectively worse than the other.
I'm not saying
but-
one, I'm not saying that, I'm saying, like, was the Holocaust a bad thing?
So basically all I'm saying is that I don't really see it as concerning that people are talking about Hitler when it's acceptable, it's publicly socially acceptable in the United States for leftists to support Chairman Mao.
It's quite difficult to agree on even the very bare minimum here.
It's just interesting, sort of, when we're coming to talking about the Holocaust, it's always about something else, and, I think most people would agree the Holocaust was a bad thing.
Right.
But you're not willing to...
Here's why I like this, C. Brooks. I like this because it's self-identifying, right? It's self-identifying. Like, okay, you pretty much outed yourself living in these communities for the most part, and this is a good thing. I thought the plan was you rather have overt racism rather than covert or subvert racism. I don't like that underhanded, sneaky shit. I need you to tell me loud and proud, my existence bothers you. That way, I know how to move accordingly with or to you or away from you. Yeah, please out yourselves. Isn't that the best way? Out yourselves. That way I know how to navigate around you and your type.
Agree with that.
But do you want to talk about the whole? I mean, it
fine.
seems like an interesting subject, but
It is an interesting subject, but I also think that was a bad thing, but I think the Holocaust was a bad thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, are you
But-
asking
well,
a
no,
question?
yeah, I'm asking you, do you think the Holocaust was bad?
Yeah, I think the Holocaust was bad.
RTTL is based on exclusion, but that also means building community for those allowed inside. This isn't just for our camera's benefit, to present a veneer of clean, healthy living. It's central to the project. Like many far-right movements before them, RTTL's mission is to show that by excluding others, they can live purer, more natural lives. As they put it on their website, to cultivate wholesomeness, beauty, health, and hope. Let's talk about hope. As much as RTTL might like, they do not exist in a separate world. Pocahontas is the nearest town to the settlement. And hope means something different for Pat Johnson.
I'm Tom.
I'm Pat.
Oh, you're Pat. Lovely to meet you, Pat. How are you?
We met her before we went up into the hills.
It was about 25 students that attended school here,
And the
on
whole
and off.
time, yeah. So it's really tiny. There you are,
Yes.
second from bottom. How old are you in that photo?
I don't know. I think probably about 12 or 13.
This is the school she attended in the 1950s, a school for black children only, because she was not allowed to be educated with white people. Unlike the members of Return to the Land, she is Arkansas born and bred. For the first 15 years of her life, she lived under segregation.
We could not go to school together. We couldn't eat together. We couldn't do everyday things together. Each day that you leave your home, you were under rejection.
And Pat had hoped those days had gone.
When you
Okay, please don't tell me she's... Here's my fear of this older elder here. I hope she doesn't think like integration is the key. Given everything she's experienced in her life, I would hope she came to the conclusion like, no, we need our own. Oh, please don't disappoint me. Please, Miss Pat, don't let me down. Please don't tell me you're down for integration. Please, 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 please.
hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
When I explain what Return to the Land is doing, just half an hour's drive away, she's not so sure. And in her eyes, there's one main reason for that.
I feel like that's the change of, and I'm just going to say, I think it's the change of our presidency. That's what I'm going to say. because I feel like that's where the change is. It's allowing people.
Yeah, she got a point. She has a point. I agree with her on that. She has a point. I'm just more concerned about her thinking that integration would be the best way moving forward.
To have the right to be open for hatred.
That may be a feeling, but it is also backed by the data. These are all the white supremacist incidents, demonstrations, leafleting, recruitment drives, meetups over the last 4 years in the US, tracked by ACLED, an organization that monitors violent conflict and protest.
Wow.
There has been a dramatic increase over that period. It has become a background thrum of nationalist activity.
Wow.
Patriot Front is the most active white nationalist organization in the US right now, according to ACLED. Its leader is Thomas Rousseau.
Foreign races have never successfully assimilated en masse into American culture and nationality.
And the group has tight links to return to the land. Eric and Thomas speak on each other's podcasts and have fast-track membership for both organizations.
Comfy?
Feels good?
Yeah.
It's about time we spoke to Eric.
Less than 50% of children born today in the US are white. I'm white, my kids are white. There is something to your background that informs who you are, your sense of identity. And we don't want that sense of identity being taken away from us.
Yes, listen, I keep trying to tell y'all they operate solely from genetic survival. That's it, that's all. You don't even take the shit personal. I've said this before, don't take what they do personal. They're operating from basically fear of erasure. You can't fix that. It's embedded into them. Okay? There's a certain fear of them being wiped out. That they have to do this. It compels them to do this. Do things to ensure their survival. Don't take it personal. It's a genetic thing. It's survival at its base form before anything else.
Voluntarily. So we're taking control of that situation and creating an environment where my kids can celebrate their identity and not have it, threatened from outside, I guess.
But why is that threatening you? Why is that an issue that you've had to address? There will always be white people.
Well, I'm feeling a little nervous now in the interview. We are forced to accept people into our neighborhoods, into our businesses, and into our lives who won't share our background, who won't share many of our cultural priors, even moral priors. We don't have a rule stating, if you have X amount of non-European ancestry, you're definitely out. In many cases, that would disqualify someone.
Were I to apply to the PMA and my views were different, I'd probably be allowed in. Do you think that's likely? I know it's a case-by-case basis, but just off the top of your head.
Yeah, possibly we would accept you in the PMA.
I don't understand white American culture, but you'd rather have me in that case. I just wonder though whether some people watching this, having heard all this intellectualizing, this rhetoric, will say, fine, but actually at heart this is just, it is just prejudice, it is just bigotry, it is just lowest common denominator racism dressed up in these arguments.
And I would just question the moral frame. Why is it wrong to identify with your own people, want an integrated culture where you can be yourself?
Just to boil it down to, what for you is the definition of racism?
When I was a kid, I suppose I interpreted racism to be judging someone solely on the basis of their race. And is that a good or bad thing? I think this basic moral consensus treats it as automatically a bad thing without a lot of reflection.
This is my last day here, and before I go, I want to speak to John. Not a leader like Eric or Pete or Scott, but an acolyte, a young one and newly arrived. He's only been here a month.
So I'm trying to knock off some of this more good topsoil, give it some more.
We'd seen him when we first came up. He guided us in on his bicycle.
It's just you have a community where you feel like you belong here. You have people you can talk to, and I can't explain it. It's too beautiful. It's nice.
He'd been working on Scott's new house over the weekend. In return for his labor, he gets cheap rent. John dropped out of college, and he's worked jobs all over the United States. He's 26, younger than the leaders who are all in their 30s. If they are the recruiters, he is the perfect recruit. For John, the primary motivation was financial.
To me, it's economical. It's an economic decision, right? And everything else just kind of falls in line. Yeah. But the main thing to me is cheap land. Everything else is a bonus.
You've got 2 levels here.
Yep. Got a loft up top and
This is the main area.
It's a living area down here, so it's quite comfy, right?
It is quite comfy. As for excluding people, I don't see it that way. We're trying to embrace our culture and our heritage. It's been denigrated, if you ask me. We've turned into a melting pot of a country for a long time now.
There is one last thing before I go. A concert put on in honor of our visit.
This first piece that Peter and I are performing is
Okay.
called The Virginia Colonies
Okay.
by Fred Cooper.
This is interesting.
Eric himself takes the stage.
This is a Baroque flute, also known as the German flute or the penny whistle. It was a very popular instrument in colonial America.
It's not easy to look tough with a flute, even if it's German. But the audience is rapt.
I can't be mad at this.
Would America be better as a white nation state?
Better in what sense?
Would you prefer, completely blank slate, America is just an ethnically white country?
I would probably feel more comfortable there because I'm white, and that's the way that this country was when my ancestors came here.
What? I'm sorry. When his ancestors came here, they were what? Oh no, sir, no, sir. Oh, listen, you can't fix this. Respect to them and what he's established and what he's built. You can't fix this shit, y'all. You can't debate this. Why would you even waste your time? This man believes this country was pretty much all white when his ancestors came here. What's there to talk about at this point? What is there to talk about? Yes, The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. Ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing to talk about. Like, okay, you gonna die on that hill? That's what you believe in your heart of hearts? We had nothing to talk about. Just you stay out of my way, I stay out of your way, and that's it. And that's it. And when the government comes for all of us, and you might want to reconsider your stance, and be like, hey, brother, the government's coming for us. Oh, are they? You want my help? If you don't mind, brother, please. Yeah. What the fuck? You don't agree with any group wanting to do for themselves and preserve their race? What? Why not? Why not? I would, because I would want that for us. If one of y'all decide, hey, Pastor Dow's the closest thing we got. He got white folk on there, but he's the closest thing to a black man built town that I can recall. I don't recall anybody doing anything close to what Pastor Dow has done in the last 10 years. If there is, I'm not aware of it. Okay? That's the closest thing we got. Yeah. Everybody do them. Everybody do them.
You also talk about Hitler in your videos a couple of times when you've talked about people are waiting around for a new Hitler to come. Mm-hmm. And you said he's not going to show up. You have to do the work for that Hitler to arrive.
Hitler is a very controversial historical figure. I think the mainstream view is one-sided. It's informed by World War II propaganda, but also that the contrary position that Hitler did nothing wrong that many people online say, that's also a one-sided view. I think all historical figures are complex, multidimensional, but when I say you're gonna have to wait for that new Hitler to arise, I'm not saying you're gonna have to wait for a new person to start a new Holocaust. I'm saying you're gonna have to wait for a charismatic leader who's going to advocate for your interests, because that's how a lot of people see Hitler. I'm addressing how they think of Hitler, not my own view.
There are other PMAs, other bits of land that are going ahead.
Yeah, there are two other groups, actually three, organizing. One in Appalachia, one in the Pacific Northwest, and then another one here in Arkansas.
So this is the growing movement?
Right now it's growing very quickly. Yeah, we have applicants every week. I would like to see more
I'm
communities
sure.
so that people in all parts of the U.S. have this as an option if they want it. I would also like to see us network and branch out internationally to a greater extent.
Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't asked about?
I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that's not... For me, it is more the objection. I think the way we've talked about it is, I don't think it is like a country club. That's the difference. I don't think this is sort of free association. I think you are depriving people of a fundamental right to housing. That's how I see this issue. And I think the reason I'm asking those questions about where it goes from here, I think that is a thought experiment, but I think if you replicated it at large, I think I would be unhappy with how that looked if it were in my country.
Okay, to me, this is not a moral issue. And he just said, you're depriving people of their fundamental right to housing. No. So he sounds more like a liberal than anything, almost like a communist to a certain extent. You're depriving people of their right to to housing and shelter. Like, what? How? No. I was with this dude until he just said that dumb shit. Like, oh my God, you're one of those on the other side.
Country. And if I were on the receiving end of it.
You think intentional communities shouldn't be able to associate how they like?
Not on the basis of race.
And the Arkansas State Attorney General told us, "This is the first I've heard of these allegations. Racial discrimination has no place in Arkansas or anywhere."
And this is what I was saying. There's an Arkansas Fair Housing Act that I think would prevent this thing from growing and taking legs in Arkansas, or they would have to be forced to integrate, because Arkansas has this thing in place to prevent communes like Homeboy's building. So that's why I said I don't think this is gonna. They got an uphill battle with this. But let's continue.
In a free society. These allegations raise all sorts of legal issues, including constitutional concerns.
Yeah.
My office is reviewing the matter.